baby Mila's dedication. I had a good time. Amen. We had a good crowd here. And for me, it's a very important time. It's not, biblically, there's nothing that really leads us to have a dedication of a baby to the Lord. But it's something that we've brought in as a sign of a commitment made by parents to raise their children and bring them to Jesus. As Jesus said, let the children come unto me. And so we do that. We bring our children to the Lord. As Hannah brought Samuel to the Lord, we bring our children and offer them up to the Lord and make that commitment to raise them in the fear and admonition of the Lord, to raise them as godly young men and women. Amen? Amen. Amen. And then we had a great time in our feasting this afternoon. That's all you can call it, folks. That's called feasting. You get good food. You have bakers and cooks and dessert people. You just enjoy it all. Amen? Amen. We had a great time. We're going to go to the Word of the Lord tonight, and I believe I have a message. I won't be hopefully too long, maybe half an hour. But I have a message that thank you, Bernie. A message that came to me this morning as I was laying in my bed, contemplating moving out of it. Trust me, it was a contemplation. After playing a hockey on Friday night, we had a great turnout, did we not, Andy? A great turnout. Helen, yeah, you were there. Skating and playing some shinny hockey. And so, yeah, I was a little stiff. And this is what came to me in my contemplation and my prayers this morning. I titled it, The Stair. The Stair. I'm going to talk about windows for a little bit here. Windows. If you were to look around you, you will see there are windows here in the auditorium. You walked through a large window. When you came in, the door is actually a window to look outside or to look from outside to in. But I want to talk about different types of windows in the Bible to begin with. First one starting back in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 16. And bear with our sound man as he gets all these scriptures. I did not give them to him prior. Genesis 6 verse 16. And this is a story of Noah. God had instructed Noah saying that I am going to destroy the world, and when I do so, I am going to have a place of safety for you if you follow my instruction. I want you to build an ark, and I want you to build it so long and so high and so wide, and this is how I want you to build it. And in that ark, I want you to do something. He says, a window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above, and the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. He told him to make a window. Make a window. Why? A window. Genesis chapter 8, verse 6 down to 12. Genesis 8, verse 6 to 12. Noah has been in the ark. And if you read your Bible, you will find that it is over a year that Noah spends in the ark with all of these animals. Lord, what a stinky boat. Over a year. And it says, and it came to pass at the end of 40 days. And this is not 40 days after it started raining. This is 40 days after a certain period of time. And you can read that previous. It says that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven which went to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. He stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth, and he stayed yet another 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. God told Noah, put a window in the ark. There's a reason for your window.
Right.
There's something that's going to pass through that window. You are going to pass something through it, and it's going to return to you with an answer. That window is going to open up another world other than the world where you are at right now.
Right.
I want to go to another window. Rahab's window. Joshua chapter 2, in verse 15 to 21. Joshua had sent 2 spies into the land of Canaan, and they had made their way into the land. They had spied out the land. They had gotten to the city of Jericho, which was just on the other side of Jordan. And they had spied out the city. And here they are in the city, and somehow they are found out. And they find a woman who is willing to hide them. And she hides them, and she deceives those that are looking for them, tells them that they have gone another way. But then when it is all said and done, and they're gone, and it's time for these people to leave, listen to what is written. It says, then she let them down by a cord through the window. For her house was upon the town wall, and she dwelt upon the wall. And she said unto them, get you to the mountain, lest the pursuers meet you, and hide yourselves there 3 days until the pursuers be returned. And afterward may you go your way. And the men said unto her, we will be blameless of this your oath, which you have made us swear. Behold, when we come into the land, you shall bind this line of scarlet thread in the window which thou did let us down by. And thou shalt bring your father and your mother and your brethren and all your father's household home unto you. And it shall be that whosoever shall go out of the doors of your house into the street, his blood shall be upon his head, and we will be guiltless. And whosoever shall be with you in the house, his blood shall be on your head, if any hand be upon him, our head, if any hand be upon him. And if you utter this our business, then we will be quit of this oath, that your oath that you have made us to swear. And she said, according unto your words, so be it. And she sent them away, and they departed. And she bound the scarlet line in the window. It's important to have a window.
Right.
That window is of great importance, first of all, to the Israelites, for it is the way that they escaped out from the city. But it is also important that the window was a sign to those as they walked around every day for 7 days. And on the 7th day, 7 times. I can imagine as they walked by, they would look up and they would look, there's that window. There's that window. And they would see that window. And I can imagine Rahab and her family looking down and going, there they are. There's those Israelites. And they're coming to conquer. And it's through a window that they were able to see and perceive and understand something was important about the window.
Right.
If the window had not been there would have been no scarlet thread to place in it. The window had not been there would have been no place of escape. But the window was there. And so the window has importance. I want to look at another window. 2 windows. David's windows. 1 Samuel 19 and verse 12. Very quickly, we'll look at this one first window. David is married to Saul, to Saul the king. He's not married to Saul, he's married to Saul's daughter, Michal, the king of Israel, Saul's. And David's married to his daughter, but Saul hates David. There is an anointing that is upon David. And so Saul, in his anger and his jealousy, tries to kill him. And he goes and seeks for David. But it says, so Michal let David down through a window. And he went and fled and escaped. The second time, a window used. Why? A means of escape.
Right.
Windows are important.
Yeah.
2 Samuel, again, a window that's in David's life. And actually, there are 3 windows in David's life, but we'll look at 2. 2 Samuel 6 and 16. It says, and as the ark of the Lord came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord, and she despised him in her heart. A window. It's important to have windows. Windows do something. We look through windows, and what is on the other side of the window is not what is representative of what's on this side of the window necessarily. A window takes us from one place to another. Michal never realized that the day that she let David out the window, that never again would he be the loved one that she originally had. Never. She would look through that window again another day, and instead she would despise him for his worship of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Look at another window. Jezebel's window. Jezebel, a wicked, wicked queen, lived during the way back thousands of years ago. She corrupted the land of Israel, so much so that she was despised by God. And God actually prophesied against her. It says, and when Jehu, 2 Kings, my apologies, 2 Kings 9, verse 30 to 37. 2 Kings 9, verse 30 to 37. And when Jehu was come to Jezebel heard of it. And she painted her face. And she tired her hair. That means she did it all up nice and fancy. And she looked out a window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, had Zimri peace who slew his master? And he lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs, and he said, throw her down. So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trode her underfoot. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, go, see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, this is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel, and the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, this is Jezebel. A window. This time a window that she looked out, thinking, I'll get my way, not knowing that who would look into that window would get his way. A window. Look at another window. One more. Elisha's window. 2 Kings chapter 13 and verse 14 through 19. 2 Kings 13, 14 through to 19. Said, Now Elisha was fallen sick of his sickness whereof he died. And Joash, the king of Israel, came down unto him, and wept over his face, and said, O my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And Elisha said unto him, Take bow and arrows. And he took unto him bow and arrows, and he said to the king of Israel, Put your hand upon the bow. And he put his hand upon it, and Elisha put his hands upon the king's hands. And he said, Open the window eastward. And he opened it. Then Elisha said, Shoot! And he shot. And he said, The arrow of the Lord's deliverance, and the arrow of deliverance from Syria. For you shall smite the Syrians in Aphek, till you have consumed them. And he said, Take the arrows. And he took them, and he said unto the king of Israel, Smite upon the ground. And he smote thrice, and stayed. And the man of God was wroth with him, and said, You should have smitten 5 or 6 times. Then you had smitten Syria, so that you had consumed it. Whereas now you shall smite Syria but 3 times. A window. Elisha's window. A window through which God orchestrated a great miracle. But yet a miracle that was limited by a man who would not yield to what God wanted him to do. A window. Windows play an important part in our lives. Amen. Through them, we visualize what is outside of the present surroundings. Right. We can be inside, feeling the nice warm temperature of 22 degrees. And outside, it can be minus 40 and the wind's howling and blowing. We're in 2 different realities, separated by a window. Right. We could be traveling, and we just did this, my wife and I, a while ago. We could be traveling hundreds of miles an hour. Hundreds of miles an hour. And on the other side of the window, things just slowly pass by. But I'm traveling hundreds of miles an hour. But on the other side of the window, it's a different story. Right. Windows are venues to another place. Windows are avenues to somewhere other than here. Right. Many refer to books as being the window to another world. Windows have been compared to eyes. And that's where I want to go tonight. There's a saying that says the eyes are the windows to the soul. Right. I want to take us to Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 to 24. Windows are the eyes to the soul. Jesus said it this way. He said, Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye be single, your whole body shall be full of light. But if your eye be evil, your whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve 2 masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, or the world. Jesus refers to the eye being single. And if it is single, it is full of light. And then he also refers to the eye being evil, and if being evil, it is full of darkness. To interpret his saying, we might understand that where we place our focus is the window that he is referring to. It is the light of the eye, or the darkness of the eye. When we look at Jesus, we see him clearly, and his light shines through us and into us.
Right.
Jesus said in John 18:12, he said, Then spake Jesus again unto them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. He is light.
Right.
How in the world are you going to have that light shine in you? One way. He can't go in your mouth. You can't sniff him in. You can't hear it. But what he gave to us was two eyes that have the ability to see. And yet you can see and yet be blind. How is that possible? Imagine the understanding that you can actually be visibly able to see and yet cannot see what is in front of you. Because there is a dimension of seeing that goes beyond the physical.
Right.
There's a dimension of our vision that takes us from the physical realm into the invisible realm. And when we do that, we're looking not into the pages of a book, we're looking into the understanding that the pages of the book are the living Word of God. They're alive. We see them visually and understand them to be alive. Romans 12:2 says, And be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
Right.
When we look at the world and all that it has to offer, we look into darkness and cannot see the light. That window has been blocked. Even though we see with our physical eyes, as we look at the world and we look at the entrapments of the world, the temptations of the world, we cannot see the light shining.
Right.
We only see darkness. Not only can we not see the light cannot shine into our lives,
Right.
leaving us in great darkness. Isn't that what Jesus said? How great is that darkness? Having eyes to see, but not being able to see.
Right.
That is why a person in the world cannot see to understand the things of God until they turn their eyes and they look to the light.
Amen.
They must turn and look at Jesus before they ever come to an understanding of who He is and who they are in Him.
Amen.
Jesus is the light that shines into their darkness, and He chases away the shadows. We are transformed when we turn our eyes to the light and begin to grow because of the light.
Amen.
Isn't it interesting that in the physical realm, a tree or a plant, most of them require what? Light to grow.
Right.
If you were to take a rose bush, place it in the darkness, never shine light upon it, it would not grow. It would die, it would wither, and turn to dust. The same is in our spiritual body as well. As we look to Jesus Christ, as we turn our eyes to Him, as we open the windows of our eyes to see what is on the other side, His light shines in, and He causes us and gives us the ability to grow into Him. That's why it's so important to be in church.
Amen.
That's why it's important to worship. That's why it's important to pray. That's why it's important to read God's Word. That's why it's important to have fellowship with one another. Because that's where we learn to grow. Because we're focusing our eyes, our vision, through the window into the light of Jesus Christ.
Right.
Amen?
Amen.
Jesus said that we cannot serve God and the world or money. You cannot look at Jesus and the world at the same time.
Right.
You can't.
No.
You were not given eyes in the back of your head.
No.
Physically.
Right.
Bernie, look at me and you cannot see your wife coming in the door. She's coming. Good morning. He wasn't given eyes in the back of his head. He can't see physically. And in the same realm, you cannot see spiritually with the back of your head. You weren't given eyes spiritually in the back of your head. You were given eyes spiritually in the front of your head so that you might look forward. And when you look forward, that is where your gaze will be focused upon. You are either looking at Jesus or you are looking at the world. You can't do both.
No.
You'll look at one or you'll look at the other. James chapter 1, James 1 verse 5 to 8 says, if any of you lack wisdom, James 1, 5 to 8, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that gives to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. Don't doubt.
Right.
There's something that happens when you open the windows of your eyes to look at Jesus Christ. You've got to believe with everything in you that what he said he is, who he said he is, what he's able to do, he will do it.
Yeah.
If you trust him.
Right.
He said, I'm coming back to take you home. You better believe it.
Praise God.
He's coming back.
Amen.
You can imagine, and keep that scripture there for a minute, we're not done. You can imagine the lady with the issue of blood. Her focus, her eyes, physically were on a man that she knew that in her eyes spiritually, if she could keep her focus on him, if she could simply but touch the hem of his garments,
Right.
she would be healed.
Amen.
She didn't see with physical eyes. She saw with spiritual eyes.
Right.
She didn't necessarily have to touch the man. She only had to touch the vestige that he wore.
Right.
She was focused. She didn't doubt. She pressed her way through a crowd that pushed her aside.
Amen.
She pressed her way through a crowd that if they knew who she was, they would have kicked her away. And they may have just done so. Because she was unclean. Don't touch an unclean person. They would have backed right up. Get away. We don't want anything to do with this woman. But yet she pushed herself through the crowd to touch the hem of his garment. She saw with eyes that looked at the light. Again, the man whose servant was sick, he didn't even look at Jesus. He didn't see him physically. He sent a servant. Hey, go ask that man Jesus to come and heal my, or that I want him to come and heal my servant. And sure, okay, let's go. Then he sends the servant and said, hey, wait, you don't even need to come. I don't need to see you physically. I already see you spiritually. I already know that all you've got to say is the word, and my servant shall be healed. You are a man of authority. I am a man of authority. I understand. I see with eyes that are beyond this physical realm. And sure enough, his servant was healed. Jesus said, I haven't found so great faith, no anywhere in Israel. Who is this man who has eyes to see? The windows of his soul are open to the light. It says, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You know what? When you're trying to see both things at the same time, you'll never get the full effect of either one.
That's right. Amen.
And when it comes to the spiritual realm, you will get the full effect of one only. You'll never get the light. You'll only find the darkness. Because Jesus said the light that's in him is dark. And how great is that dark? He said there's a light in him, all right, but it's not the right kind of light.
Right.
It's darkness, and it's great darkness. Where we are looking gives indication as to whether there is light or there is darkness in us. Looking at Jesus means the light is shining into our lives. Looking at the world and all its temptations, and there will be a great darkness that will envelop us. Matthew chapter 5, 14. Matthew 5, verse 14 to 16. Sorry, Tim. Matthew 5, 14 to 16. You are the light of the world. Oh, wait a second. Didn't we just read that Jesus said, I am the light? Didn't John say in the next verse we're going to read that in him was light, life, and the life was the light of men? But Jesus said, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. You are a light. You have been called to be light. Right. The only way that you can be light is if your focus, your gaze, your windows are looking at the source of light.
Praise God. Right.
John 1, 4 and 5. In him was life, and the life was the light of men.
Right.
And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. 1 John 2, 8 to 11. And I'm almost done. John writes, he says, again, a new commandment I write unto you, which thing is true in him and in you, because the darkness is past. You know who he's writing to? He's writing to those whose windows have been opened to the light. They no longer have darkness living in them. They've got light shining forth brilliantly out of them. It says, and the true light now shineth. He that saith he is in the light and hateth his brother is in darkness even until now. He puts it plain. You got hatred in your heart, friend? You've never been to the light.
That's right.
He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him. But he that hateth his brother is in darkness, and walks in darkness, and knows not whither he goes, because the darkness has blinded his eyes. Where are you looking today? Where are you looking today? Where do your eyes focus? Where do they tend to wander? Are you staring into the light, or are you looking into the darkness? We are called to look into the light and the freedom that the light brings. Don't let the world steal the light from you.
Right.
I asked Sister Eleanor to come. We're going to sing a song here. Just come around the altar for just a couple minutes. We're not going to sing this song. We're going to sing But you can remember as a child, you may have heard this song. It says, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Why? Because where you're looking will either show and indicate that you're looking at light or that you're looking at darkness. Be careful, little eyes, what you see. Be careful that the things you're looking at on your computer, your phone, your tablet, your iPad, are not stealing the light from you. Be careful, because they can. If they are darkness, they will steal the light that is in you. Be careful that the things you watch and the games you play are not stealing the light from you. Be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, how great the darkness when one turns from the light to look at the world. Where are you looking tonight? Where are you looking tonight? Look at Jesus. Look at Jesus. He's the light. Open the windows of your eyes to see who it is that loves you with everything that He has. He gave it all up just so you could come and live with Him. Turn your eyes upon Jesus.